And now I'm going to mute myself and go over to the kitchen to start the cooking. Okay, and the video. Here we are. Okay, I want to first of all show you the sesame seeds I have. This is black sesame seeds. And there's a whole jar of it for about $5 from the Indian store. This is kind of tan colored sesame seeds. And this is the white, that is also cost about $5. This is the white sesame seed you can get from the grocery store, which come in a spice jar, and it costs about $4. It means it's really expensive compared to the bulk. And so we're going to start. I have 2/3 cups of black sesame seeds, 1/3 cup of almond shaving or almond. So I'm going to start by cooking them. Going to be pan fried until they are roasted. So turn on the light, turn on the heat, turn on the light. You don't have to put anything on the pan, just let it, it's a dry roast. So just going to start by roasting the almond. So just keep turning it around and it will start to turn slightly brown. And you can smell the almond roasting as it gets roasted on the pan. So since the almond take longer than the sesame seed, so I start with the almond. But if I were to do just sesame seed, I'll put everything in together. It depends on how big your nuts. If you're using a bigger nuts than the sesame seeds, you would roast that first. So give it a little bit longer. It's starting to smell good. You know how roasting nuts smell like. So slightly brown. You want it to stay white after it's completely roasted. So now I'm adding the sesame seed. Just add together and continue to roast. As the sesame seed roasts, it starts to pop and you can smell, you can hear it. So if you bring it closer, you can hear the cracking sound of the sesame seed roast. And the smell will really tell you, you know, when it's done. It smells really good. And it's going to start popping, and some of them will pop out of the pan. So this is done already. Just a few minutes. I'm going to put that aside and use a different pan. This pan is going to be, turn down the heat a little bit smaller. I'm going to measure out 1.5 teaspoons of just regular vegetable oil. This is a tablespoon, so half of that is 1.5 teaspoons. And 2 teaspoons of pancake syrup. 2 tablespoons, I mean. And now 1/3 of a cup of sugar, just regular granulated sugar. And just cook it until the sugar dissolves. Doesn't have to caramelize, just dissolving the sugar in the little bit of oil and the pancake syrup. You can use other kind of syrup. You can use maple syrup or honey. So all that is dissolving. And then you don't see the grain, the white grain anymore. Now the next part is going to be, you have to do quite quickly before it cools down. So this is quite kind of hot and warm and dissolved and it's a liquid form. You don't want to burn it, so just barely hot and turn off the heat. And now dump all of that into the, actually I want to keep it at low heat so that it will continue to cook a little longer. You're going to mix it in until you're able to form a ball with the whole mixture. Right now it's kind of loose, and as the sugar continue to cook, you are able to form a ball with all that. So just push it inside to see if you can make a ball. Solidify. So you can form kind of a mountain, a ball like thing. And this is done. Turn off the heat. Now let's come over here. I have some silicone mat. So bring all that into the silicone mat. Stretch it all in so that it doesn't stick to the. If you use a regular, it might stick. So still make it into a ball so that it becomes one piece. And you want to make it so that it's kind of rectangular or square, whatever. And put another piece on top. Press it down. And now you're going to roll it out with the rolling pin to the thickness that you want. Usually I roll it out to about a couple of millimeters thick. At this point, you can still move things around. So you're going to, if there's any holes in the middle, you want to make sure, close up the holes and make it into a square again. Looks pretty with the color. If you use just the black sesame, it will be a big black char, like, like tar. So let it cool a little bit. Flatten it out in places and just let it cool down a little bit. And after it's cooled down some, we can just cut it into square with a knife and serve it as sesame squares as a dessert. So it's cool. Just begin to cool down. Once it's cooled down, you can't really move it very much. It will stay as a solid piece. So I like the silicone mat because it's so easy to clean up. Once you've finished cooking, this silicone mat you can use in the oven. They're called like cookie sheet. They won't burn and it distributes the heat really well. You won't get burnt sections of how sometimes the cookies underneath get burned, but this silicone mat is so reusable. And now we can just cut them into square. Going to cut off the edge. And you can always eat the edge, snack on it. And just, let's see, 1, 2, maybe cut it this way. Serving size. And let it cool off, and then before you put it in the container. So there you are, sesame square, a nice sweet dessert. I'm going to stop the recording and then talk to you.